Hi folks, my name is Cherry and I'm the founder at Claribase. I'm going to be covering a construction project manager database today. We are looking at quite a few things, so this video will probably be longer than 10 minutes. I'm going to cover the data automations and interfaces within this example base that we've set up. We've worked with quite a few different construction clients, so we've seen all sorts of Airtable systems, from ones being focused on estimating to other ones being focused on automating the project management and task management process, and even for cash flow tracking, because a lot of construction projects can last multiple years. So your clients are probably paying you with pretty long delays and payment periods. And when that happens, you need to plan for the revenue that you're getting, actually issue the invoices in a timely fashion, and then make sure that you've received the payment. So there is that cash flow and budgeting element of Airtable as well, which is really cool. So in this one, I'm actually going to be more focused on the front end, which is that sales, estimating, project management piece. But you can reach out if you ever have any questions. All right, so starting with the data section, we are looking at the project intake form data. So that's whenever our team gets a new project or a new inquiry from a client. This is all just fake data here. We also have a clients table. So these might be lots of different projects that we've done before, or past clients where we've worked on projects before. We also have contacts, because sometimes there might be different people that you might talk to, one billing person, one project manager, one maybe champion or customer or owner of that development company. And then we also have the projects themselves, which can be in different stages. So contract delivery, or quote preparation, construction prep, under construction. We can also have internal departments, which are client correspondence, pricing and drafting, and then construction management. And then we also have our internal teams table, which at the moment is filtered by the department. That's why you always see these sales people in here. Okay, all right. So getting into the actual workflow, the pages that we've just been looking at, this is all in the back end. So not everyone is going to be comfortable working in the back end, and we can actually now go into the interfaces. So inside of the interfaces, and of course, there's quite a few interfaces here. So again, this demo will probably be longer than 10 minutes, but Matt, who built this on our team, he has an architecture background. So he's worked with a lot of our construction clients, and it's just, he did such a good job on this that it's worth walking through it. Okay, so over here, you're able to submit a new project. So you're collecting a lot of different information. Usually the sales team fills this in when they're back in the office, or maybe when they're in their car after meeting with the client. So it's a form that can be on a computer, or we can make a mobile version of this form so that people can fill in the information. It's all collected cleanly, consistently. People aren't, missing information, which is always a challenge. And then you go into just any kind of quotes that are in progress already. So your salespeople aren't calling your estimating department going, hey, is this done? Like, where is it? My client's following up with me. And then you have to answer the phone and say, okay, well, you're missing information. Go get me that piece of information. Or it's almost ready. So everyone can just see what the status is for that quote prep. So everything is in progress, but some of them need more information, versus these ones the estimating team has already marked as having enough information. So this is really communication between the estimating team and the sales team. Okay, and then over here, I guess maybe there's a few that are new. This is all the sample data. All right, so completed and ready for contract. So there's going to be a handful of them where you might already have the information. You have your initial information from the clients. The quote is already there. Once it's ready, you want to put in a contract. So when your sales team gets that contract signed, they can actually put it in here. And as a salesperson, you would be able to upload that. And then once that contract is in, then you can actually say ready for construction preparation. Then an automation runs in the background and actually kicks it to the next step. All right, so now I can look at managing all of these different clients. So I can select who that client is going to be. If I'm looking at Ampersand Electric, then I'm looking at the different contacts we have with them. What's the client address? What's the current project? And sometimes different clients might have two different projects, so you can also see that information. We can also look at this from an estimator's perspective. So they're going to be the ones who are actually estimating this project. And you can see that I'm looking at quote preparation. I know a little bit about the client. I can fill in who that person is going to be from the drafting team. I can see that there's no initial documentation, but maybe I got it from an email, in which case I would want to upload the additional documentation I have from an email into here, and then I mark it as sufficient. Then I prepared a quote. Obviously, there's a lot more steps in an actual project, but we're just trying to show a simplified version of the information that would get filled in. And then during the construction preparation, we can look at, oh, I need to go find a project that actually has. So let's go to a project. Let's go find a project that has some documents. Okay, you can see there's a lot of different fields in here. And actually, well, we're doing a screen demo anyway, so I'm just going to take a look at all of these, and then I'm going to look at I want to show you one with some documents. So over here, I can actually remove the stages, and I'm just going to look at this one. Okay, Liberty Contractors. I've got an example record here. So earlier, I was just updating all the different fields I can see, and then I can also change the grouping. So earlier, if I change this back, I am grouping by stage and then by the client, because some clients can have multiple projects. Okay, I'm going to launch my interfaces. And then next we go into this construction prep section. It doesn't have all the fields here, but if there were attachments, you can see the different attachments. You can add more documents in here. You can look at the different start dates. Again, these are all the many different simplified fields. And I've seen pages, detailed pages, where the clients have, oh my, like over 100 fields on this page so that they can get all the information they need to as they're preparing for the start date. All right, okay, so over here we also have the construction management information. We have a project that we can select. We see the client, we see the primary contact at the client, we see the project address and the type of project it is, and then we can see the different people who worked on this particular project. And then if there were any drawings, they would get attached here. And you can also put in the actual labor hours that were spent and used on site. And over here, this is a really nice cost tracker, because for this project, I can see all of my estimated fees that I put into estimating this project. And then at the end of the project, I can actually put in the actual fees that I spent. And that means I can get the sense of, okay, well, were we under or over when we were estimating it? And it just helps us estimate better in the future and be able to deliver projects really well and on time and budget. Okay, so it takes a while to get to this stage where we can compare estimates and actuals, but right now a lot of situations that we see with our construction clients is that everything is managed inside of a spreadsheet, and you have 5 different spreadsheets that contain different pieces of the customer and contact information, and sometimes there are different billing entities that you're billing through, so then your accounting team has a different list of information, and they're all somehow overlapping but all different at the same time. And we're here to just help solve those kinds of problems, really make sure the processes are streamlined, make sure the teams are working within the same system, and the information that's entered at the beginning of the project just flows downstream naturally from the sales team to the estimating team to the project management team to the dispatching team that might actually be sending out the crew. So there's just going to be lots of different efficiencies that we can gain when we actually put all of your data in one place. So that's our quick demo over here for a construction project manager database within Airtable. It's a really great way to build a custom solution. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us through our website, claribase.com. You can book a call with me at the link down below to get on an introductory call if you want some help. Now, that's it for the demo, and have a great rest of your day.